Friends, Romans, Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats because it's time for the Gay Frog Chat. Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go into a different conspiracy. This week, there's just been so many. I mean, nothing's really been happening in the world at all. It's been a slow week, really, right, guys?
Everything's fine. Nothing big going on at all. We're doing great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they didn't, like unprecedented arrest or at least indict a former president, which is insane. And how does that go down? I got questions there. I mean, we've got escalation with the war in Russia in Ukraine. Excuse me, we're talking about Russia. We've got backdoor deals with BRICS countries for the death of the petrodollar. Like, dude, there's some shit going down, and we are in for a wild ride. A wild ride ahead, boys. But anyway, all that being said, we're joined by a Ohio Patriot. How you doing, Ohio?
Yeah, I'm doing about as good as I can be at this point.
You get your power back there?
Yeah, we're just dealing with family stuff right now.
All right. Yep. Sorry, I look tired and shitty. So what you're gonna get? It is what it is. Ginger, how's it going, man?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Just hanging in there. You see my what it says underneath my name?
Find all your gas masks. Excellent. Dude, keep it at that website.
I have. I certainly have.
Man.
Quite the event.
And all that being said, we're doing things a little bit different here on the Gay Frog Chat and my channel in general. I think this is the way that we're going to be doing it basically moving forward. I am going to be doing a dual stream for every stream. There's one stream going to YouTube. The exact same stream is going to Rumble. At a point, maybe about an hour in, we're going to end the YouTube stream because of their extreme prejudice of not respecting the First Amendment and censoring people's speech and giving me YouTube strikes repeatedly and shadow banning my channel and all of the other things that they've been doing. It's nice to have the ability to have a little bit of free speech, a little bit of breathing room. So we finished the chat over on Rumble is how we're going to do it. So, again, as discussed last week, it is against YouTube policy for me to put a link to the Rumble chat anywhere in this. But I can discuss it, and if you guys on your own go find it, or if someone finds it and puts a link to that chat in the text chat, I can't do anything about that. I mean, that would be editorial. I'm not a publisher. I'm a platform. Loves the Chief says, ugh, I can't see live chat on Rumble Bukkake. I don't know what to do about that one. Vape's here. What's up, Vape? Smoke says, $100 for a loaf of bread. Mark my words, you Christian haters. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. $100 for a loaf of bread? How far off do you think we are from that, boys?
A year.
Not far.
Depends on how fast the collapse happens.
I mean, I feel like the dollar has the potential with the way that things are set up. Like, once that fall starts happening, like, where's the bottom? I'm not sure that there is a bottom. You know what I mean? So $100 for a loaf of bread might be optimistic if that's true. Like if it goes that bad. Like shit, have you guys seen the fucking pictures of like Venezuelan money where the guy goes in to buy fucking food in Venezuela? It's not $100 for a loaf of bread. It's like a wheelbarrow full of stacks of $100 bills. like $100,000 something like that, to get a round of groceries.
I was
Mhm.
going through my Facebook feed yesterday, and one of the memories that popped up was from about 5 years ago. It was the picture from Venezuela where it was just a bunch of cash in the sewer, just lining the streets towards the sewer grates.
Wait, say that again. I was reading.
The sewer grates in Venezuela. There was a picture from about 6 years ago or so when they finally collapsed, and it was a whole bunch of cash just lining the street.
Oh, right, just sitting it because no one would even bother picking it up. Because
Yeah,
why
because
would
it was
you?
just literally fractions of a cent at that point.
Sucks, dude. Hang on to your coin change, because even like the zinc pennies and stuff, if things go really bad, like zinc's going to be worth more than a penny.
Right. I think Dan's pretty spot on. He said bread won't have to be $100. It'll just have to double, and that'll kick shit off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's already doubled. What do you guys spend at the grocery store versus 2019? I spend double.
At least.
At
Yeah.
least.
It's close to double.
I think he meant like double from now.
Well, if
No.
it doubles again, that would be quadruple. And that's a lot. 500 Magnum says, "Do you have a 1911 in your collection?" I can't remember. If ever asked, John Browning was a god. Yes, I do. I've got a. I don't feel like fucking opening everything up. The safe behind me there. I do have a Remington R1 stainless R1S. It's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. I still need to get me another one. I haven't had
I've
one in
only
a couple
fired
years.
it twice, I think. Like I've only taken it to the range 2 times. Like that thing's basically fucking brand new. It's got no scratches, but I've also never cleaned it. So there.
It won 2 world wars. You don't need to clean it.
I don't know why people are so obsessed with having like a gun that you could eat dinner off of, you know?
Yeah, I don't either.
On it.
I mean,
It's fine.
at the end of the day, they're a tool.
If it can't work with a little bit of gunk on it or whatever, like it wasn't going to work when you needed it to anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
Simple Dan says, Corey, how much does basic food of basic loaf of bread cost these days? Jesus.
I don't know. I think couple dollars, I want to say. It's been a while since I've bought bread or gone to the store.
It
My wife
depends on
usually
where you're
does it.
going and the states and everything like that too. The closer you are to where it's actually produced, the cheaper it actually becomes. This could be like as little as like 99 to like $1.05 to like a couple bucks.
Well,
I
another
wanna
thing I
start-
remember, like right when the shutdown first happened, right? And like, I'm trying not to spend any money. I don't have any money coming in. Fucking unemployment's taking forever to fix their shit or whatever, you know, didn't know how long it was going to take. So I'd go to the grocery store, and with the stuff that I had in the house, I could buy like a box of cookies, a thing of soda, and a pound of hamburger meat. And that's all I would need because I had everything else. And that pound of hamburger meat was like $2. The thing of soda was like $2.50. And, you know, like maybe one or two other, I'd spend $20 at the store, and I'd have enough food for me and the kids for an entire day, everything we need, you know. Now I go to Chipotle and get 3 burritos, one for me and one for each of the kids. Oh, I want some chips and guac too. Okay, cool. Throw that in. It's like $45, dude.
Yep.
Like that's definitely changed. Eating out is like way more expensive.
Oh yeah, bad.
Especially if you DoorDash this shit. Good God, it's ridiculous. Just to DoorDash a large pizza to my house is like $40-something.
Dick goes in, he says, I'm in the chat. Rumble bitches. Calhoun says, Hail Handler. Rumble style. People are out on the Rumble chat. start filtering over there if you feel like it, because at some point we will be ending it over here on YouTube and have more of a real conversation about things over on the Rumble side. But, you know,
That link I
Not
just
yet.
dropped in the back chat is the average price of bread per state.
I'm sure Denver's like fucking number 2.
Right.
All right.
Or at least in the top 5, because I'm sure bread's expensive in like California, New York, Chicago.
It's not as expensive as Alaska or Hawaii.
Well, yeah, they gotta ship everything there.
Yeah, it's all
What,
flown
what
in.
kind of bread are we talking? Like the fucking
I think it's just a
Walmart
loaf of white
shit
bread.
bread?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, like Mrs. Baird's or something.
Because that shit used to be 88 cents. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the worst part. The worst part about that is, who does that affect? That affects the working class,
Mhm.
not the scum-sucking bottom feeders who live on welfare for generations and generations, because they've already got they just get, they don't really notice it because they get that EBT card. They get that welfare. So they really don't care. It affects the working man who's already working, making decisions, and got to make sacrifices to make things happen. So this is just the worst scenario, because those folks, it doesn't affect it much. They don't really notice it. They're spending frivolously anyways because it's not their money that they're spending. They're spending someone else's money, right? So, this only affects a certain group of people.
Well, I will say
100%.
this: like, I used to do exactly what I'm doing now as far as work and stuff, and whether I was making more or less, I don't know. It's probably even a little bit less because of inflation. I'm making more because stuff costs more, and you're making a percentage of that, right? So you're making a little bit more money. I am not saving money versus before I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like,
saw-
I don't know. I could do a few things to maybe try to cut costs a little bit, and maybe start pinching pennies and save some money. But I'm already doing some, like, I quit smoking. I'm not on the patch anymore, dude. By the way, still off the patch.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Good job, bro.
Got through an entire week of work, even though I wanted to strangle somebody. I knew nicotine wouldn't help. So
I saw this video the other day. Said that if there wasn't any government assistant program, there would be a lot more deadbeat mothers than deadbeat fathers.
well, yeah, think about it. Like, all of the government assistance is set up to hold the father accountable to the children. And if you don't pay your child support and you don't do this and you don't do that, then you're going to have warrants out for your arrest, and we're going to put you in jail and all this other stuff until you pay, which doesn't really make sense to me. It's like, hey, you're behind on paying bills, so let me put you in prison where you don't have the ability to make money as a solution. Like, no, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's
Right.
punishment, not a solution. But yeah, I mean, like, for instance, there was an excavation at an ancient Roman well, like water well, where they would put buckets down and get water in a Roman town that happened to be right across the street from a well-known Roman brothel, right? And when they were digging it up, they were sickened to find how many babies were thrown down the well because the mothers didn't want to deal with them. Because it's hard to make money with a screaming child in the background, I guess, Kind of crazy. And when, fucking ham sandwiches are short, you can't find any food anywhere, the rules kind of change a little bit, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually wanting to buy this stuff so I can start making my own homemade bread, just because not only is bread, getting expensive, but American bread is just god awful for you with all the preservatives and shit in it.
Have you ever fucked around with a bread maker?
Not since I was a kid, but I saw a video where this guy says he can't eat bread here in the States because it just tears up his stomach. But when he went to across the pond and he had like real French bread, he said he was just amazed how good it was. They make it one day, next day it's half off, and by the end of the day, if anything's left over, they throw it away. But yeah,
I
here
haven't
in
had one of these for a while, but when I was a kid, we used to have one of these in the house, like a little bread. It was basically this thing, right? Like a little different, but like the bucket thing that you put the dough into.
Yes.
That's exactly the same.
Yes.
And you just like, oh my god, dude! Like halfway through the day, you start getting hungry a little bit, like in the afternoon. You're like, okay, I'll just throw some stuff in the bread maker, and then you put the bread and the milk and the flour and the water and the yeast and everything else and honey and salt and whatever else you put in there. And a couple hours later, you start smelling that fucking fresh bread smell throughout the house. Oh my god. So fucking good.
and it's better for you. You can buy a
I
loaf
mean,
of
I
bread
would eat
for
way more bread back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking delicious, dude. It's so fucking
Mhm.
good eating like fresh baked bread. And especially like with this, because you don't have to do anything. You just have to put the shit in there, right? Just like open the book. Okay, 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of milk, blah 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 blah. Start, and then you walk away, and it's done.
Hell yeah. Now, is that
Have you ever made
particular
bread?
model,
Like,
the Amazon Basic, is that a good one, or does it have to be super expensive to,
I would say go with this one, dude. Like $70 isn't cheap, but that's like good enough, I think, to fucking probably last for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not gonna die with this thing if you live for a while, anyway. Unless it kills you. Oh, look, it comes in black. It's $4 more for the black one.
But anything that you can set on the counter and it lasts for 15 days before going bad is obviously not good for you, because that's what our bread can do. Just set on the counter for 15 fucking days.
Yeah, dude, this bread will like mold after 5. You wouldn't want to eat it then anyway, because you just like throw some shit in the thing and make new bread, and then you have better bread anyway. It's like just as easy. I highly recommend these. Like if you haven't fucked around with a bread machine, fuck around with a bread machine. Try it out.
Like I said, I want to get one.
I mean, that's the cheapest one I saw when I looked real quick. I mean, oh, that's a toaster. 126, 149, 305. Yeah, they're
$2,400.
75. Oh, there's a cheaper one at Best Buy by a couple bucks.
I'd rather go through Amazon and get it quicker. I don't have the
Target has one for 73. So yeah, they're all around that price. Gun Library Garrett, thanks man, dropped in $5. It was in Japan last week, and the meat is real. I didn't even realize how processed stuff tasted until I came back.
I believe it.
I noticed like going to the coast, the fucking seafood's so fucking good. Like just the fresh fish that you can have. Can't get that in Colorado,
Yep.
I mean, you can, but you pay for it. I want to take the kids fishing though, because there are fish in Colorado that you can catch that are fresh and good for you and delicious. You just got to go up to the mountains to get them.
It's getting to where we're not going to be able to go fishing or hunting or anything like that anymore, because they're trying to fucking kill us. All this shit getting dumped in these water supplies, and wildlife drinking it, and they're getting polluted. And just, have you seen how they make that fake meat? How
With
they
the 3D printed meat?
Huh?
Are you talking that 3D printed shit?
Yeah, that fake meat. They grow it in a petri dish.
Oh no, that's different. Yeah, no.
That shit's. I saw a video how they make it. That's just fucking disgusting.
I heard it. Okay, I don't know about this, so this might be Rumble chat, but I heard it's really not good for you.
Oh no, I'll tell you on Rumble. Just remind me later, because I don't want to say anything to get you new.
Medical disinformation. Lord knows I've gotten more than one of those strikes. Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
So I do have a couple of curated stories that we can look at while still over here on the YouTube side. McDonald's temporarily shuts down U.S. offices, prepares layoff notices. McDonald's Corporation is temporarily closing its U.S. offices this week as it prepares to inform corporate employees about layoffs.
Yeah, because they can't afford the $15 to $20 an hour that these little pukes want.
Well, and it's just a sign of the times.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's has been pretty recession-proof, and now these events are taking its toll. And they're also there. You got to remember, their profits are being ate up by hourly wages, but it's not because of the 15 an hour. It's because it's probably somewhere along the lines of 20 some an hour, because they're paying overtime just to stay open because they can't find workers. So,
there's that, and there's also their food cost has gone up.
Exactly.
Like the trucker to drive the stuff is charging more. The fuel that goes in his truck costs more. The food that is produced costs more from the manufacturer, from the farmer, from the manufacturer. I guess from McDonald's. I guess from McDonald's it probably is a manufacturer, but
probably. Well, not only that, like Duke said, the times are changing. I mean, they're bringing in more technology so they can have less workers. There's a McDonald's in Fort Worth that is the first one, I believe, in the U.S. to be fully automated, run by robots. I think there's only a manager and a person back there to actually cook the food. You pull up to the window and the window will automatically open up and your order will push right out. You don't ever see anybody.
How long till they do that with waiters?
Soon, because what they'll do is they'll just have people that run the food out, and you'll order on that little thing that's at your table. You know what I mean? And they're not going to have wait staff. They'll have deliverers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way they'll get rid of that, right?
Yeah, I quit.
Who's going to tip somebody who just didn't really talk to them and just ran their food out?
There's at least one restaurant already that's doing a robot server to just bring out your food for you.
I believe I was going to say it's probably going to come out on like a Roombot or something.
I mean, they tried to do that at my restaurant, and it failed miserably.
Yeah.
But it failed miserably because the system with which they used to implement it sucked. Not because the idea itself was somehow flawed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're probably right. And if that happens, I'll be a manager. I won't be a food runner. The only reason I've stayed a waiter so long is because per hour I make better money than the fucking managers do.
Yeah.
Like, they might make more than me because they're there fucking 60, 70 hours a week. But in the 30 hours that I'm there, I'm making almost as much, So, but yeah, as soon as that flips, it's like, well, I guess I have to be a manager now,
Yeah.
Shit sucks, man. Well, get ready, boys. McDonald's is laying people off. Who else is doing it? You know what I mean?
Well, that's going to be
Burger
a
King.
problem. Yeah, Burger King shutting down a bunch of stuff too, I saw.
Yep, like 27 in Michigan.
You got to remember, people hate on fast food, but that's a job. That's a job you can pretty much walk into, and a lot of people have those fast food jobs, those service jobs, and I've never hated on that because, there's some general manager at McDonald's making pretty good money. There's some dude above him making really good money. people like fast food. People like McDonald's. And so those jobs going away, that's going to be a problem. Because
Well, I think it's a factor of like the cost of living going up, right? Like, let's say 2019, you were doing okay. You had, let's say, 10% a month extra income. Now the price of the grocery store's doubled. Your rent's gone up a couple $100. The price of gas has gone up $1.50 a gallon. Like, you're getting hit from every side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so those little quick meals that you used to go to McDonald's and just grab something because you were running late for work or whatever, or you were coming home and you didn't feel like cooking. Now you're cooking because it's cheaper to cook at home than it is to go to McDonald's. You're cutting every little corner that you can. And it's not just you. There's a fuck ton of people doing that. So places like McDonald's that, rely on that frivolous decision to just get something to eat real quick because it's cheap and who cares, are missing out on those sales because people care about those nickels and dimes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's hitting my restaurant too because I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold still. The kids. I would say probably like pre-pandemic, 10% of the tables that came in was because it was someone's birthday or some celebration, something that was happening. So like 1 out of 10 were there for a specific reason. 9 out of 10 were there just because they wanted to have a drink and they wanted to have some fun, Now it's like 50-50. And that's a huge fucking difference.
Mm-hmm.
From 1 out of 10 to 1 out of 2. That's a huge fucking difference. That's a whole fuck ton of people that are like, well, we could go out and have fun and do stuff tonight, or we could stay here and not spend money. And they're doing that. You get enough of that happening, places like McDonald's start having to fucking lay people off. The more of these layoffs that happen from places like McDonald's, more and more people are now not making any money, or at least making unemployment, which is not enough money. You guys get it, dude. You see where it's going. And then you combine that with like, oh, the Fed's got to roll back its printing of money because bailing everybody out seems to be making inflation go bad, and that's really going to make people hurt. So what we got to do is like tighten down for a while, let the American people suffer, because that suffering is way better than the suffering if we just keep printing money. Yeah, we're on the first story. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, 1776 says, all these F-bombs going to put me in the doghouse. I'm out. See all you guys out there. Well, I'm, sorry, man. Don't know what to tell you.
Tell him to come to one of my chats. I'll get a lot of cunts really quick.
Loves the Chiefs. Sounds like you're the wife. Wait a second. You can now indict a former president for paying off women he had sex with to keep them quiet? How much did Paula Jones get?
Like, wasn't it like 800,000, 850,000, something like that?
Like 1995 money? Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of fuckers in the mainstream media now trying to say that, oh, it's because Bill paid her legitimately up front or whatever that he can't be indicted for that shit. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Well, they're not getting Trump because he paid a chick off. You can pay someone to shut up. Like, I could pay you guys at the end of this chat to never talk about this chat again. Right? There's nothing illegal about it. There's non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that happen all the time between people and corporations, between people and people. after relationships, after marriages, blah, blah, blah. All the fucking time NDAs happen. The thing that they're upset about is the financial reporting of the money that went to Stormy Daniels from Trump. Somehow, the way that it was recorded, even though the FBI had already looked at it, even though the federal government had already had a chance to look over all of his shit and decided after a year, or after it was more than that, right? There's nothing here that we can do anything with. Just drop it. A Soros-appointed district attorney in New York City has decided to pick up this case and go after Donald Trump in an unprecedented way to charge him for misdemeanor crimes that are outside of the statute of limitations against a former president and what seems like an overtly political witch hunt arrest.
Oh, 100%. Because that's all they're trying to do is just disqualify him from running in 24.
This wouldn't even disqualify him unless there's somehow election money tied into it.
Yeah, but isn't he trying to charge him federally, though?
He can't. He's not a federal prosecutor.
Not as a misdemeanor, but a felony is what I meant.
Oh, well, again, I haven't seen the specific charges. I've only heard them talked about. I know that it's procedural shit. They're getting him on like 32 counts of whatever it is, which means that there's 32 pieces of paper that say like Stormy Daniels X instead of whatever it's supposed to say, right? That's all it is. It's a failure to report things correctly. And I'm sure that Trump wasn't even the one who made the decision. It was like lawyers who were filing things, and he reported it as like lawyer fees or something like that. Is what the big deal is, I guess. Yeah. Again, is it worth hauling in an ex-president who's running for re-election or for election again? Anyway, it's not re-election. I guess it's re-election because he was once elected.
Yeah. I mean, no, and a logical, reasonable, sane person would say no, but in their fucking demented heads, then yeah, it's totally worth it. So they can keep fucking over Trump as much as they can and often as they can.
Well, the thing that it's done is made like supporters of Trump start dumping money into his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He raised $4 million in one day, and like 70% of the money came from people who'd never donated to Trump before.
Duke's asleep.
No, I'm not. Just chilling.
Oh. Do you think this one, Daryl Dixon, do you think this will solidify his win?
Are you talking to me or Duke?
Y'all, all y'all, do you think this will solidify his win?
I think it makes him a very good chance to win again. I wasn't going to vote for him until this happened.
I mean, I was going to vote for whoever the Republican nominee ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Trump, I was going to vote for Trump. If it's DeSantis, I was going to vote for DeSantis. If it's someone else somehow, assuming they don't look like a fucking agent of the devil or Hydra or something, I'll vote for that person, you know?
Man.
But Dan Crenshaw, hell no.
Asa Hutchinson, who was the ex-Arkansas governor, officially launched his bid today. He is a rhino piece of shit.
I don't know, just that eye patch wearing motherfucker. Like, you know that he's working for some evil shit behind the doors. He's seen where the children are being chained up, or whatever it is. I'm not saying that literally. I'm saying that figuratively. Lawsuit in the future. if you think coronavirus is scary, you should see what the governments can do to unarmed citizens. God, I can't speak. And I was thinking about, like, this is a huge deal right now because they're coming after guns in certain areas, not necessarily across the country because they don't have the kind of support that they would need within the House, certainly, to get anything major done when it comes to gun laws or anything that they could pass, right? However, if you live in a Democrat hellhole that is super majorityly ran by Democrat, as I do here in the communist state of Colorado, the increasingly fucking weird state of Colorado, they can just mash this shit through, and that's what they're doing. They're doing it in Colorado. I said that they would. They're now doing it. They've already passed through the House and Senate, like 4 different gun laws in Colorado now.
Jesus, man.
Just waiting.
And they don't have to necessarily rely on it sticking, because they know it's going to get challenged and probably reversed, but the damage is already done once they pass it, because it'll take years of litigation to overturn the unconstitutional bullshit. Mm-hmm. But by then, they don't care. The damage is already done. I mean, look at the fucking pistol braces or the bump stocks or whatever.
Well, and even then, they don't care, because by the time that you get it to the Supreme Court, let's say like the thing that they're doing right now, and then, a couple months goes by, it's implemented. After that, I'm damaged by it. I get a lawyer, I sue. It goes through it takes years before it moves its way up the chain. And by that point, who knows who they've got in the fucking Supreme Court, or how many Supreme Court justices there will be at that time. Because they can just arbitrarily change that rule, apparently. And if someone retires and they get to a point, well, then they're going to appoint and appoint and appoint. And who knows which one in there, Kavanaugh, is like a rhino or some fucking kind of like sheep in wolf's clothing or whatever. Wait, wolf and sheep's clothing. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Sleepy Duke 2024.
I saw that.
Oh shit, we've got a super chat from Calhoun Republic over on Rumble. Says, how long till we go to Rumble only? I have a question for the panel, if you'll all will indulge me. Well, what are we, about 40 minutes in? Like 15, 20 more minutes, and we're going over to Rumble only. Duke's already at Rumble Land.
Yeah, I'll say, well, Duke won't be there, but we will.
It's too bad Matt doesn't show up for these things.
I think he's on that.
Oh, good.
I think he's on a Geek Chat tonight.
He's on a Geek Chat tonight?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he said something about it.
Oh, with what's his name?
Yeah.
What is his name?
Collector Express.
Collector Express. You have legal weed in Colorado. Just get high and forget about it. That's what they want you to do. Yeah, bro. Totally awesome. Oh. This story, not on Twitter, made me upset. Have you guys heard about this? The shot New York City parking garage worker who fired at suspect thief weeps while cuffed to bed. If you read the story, what happened was basically there was a attendant at a parking garage who witnessed a car being stolen and then tried to intervene with the suspect stealing the car, who then got out of the car and pointed a gun at the attendant, who then wrestled with said suspect for the gun, ended up with the gun in his hand, fired a couple of rounds, although he'd already been shot with the gun that he stole from the guy who was stealing the car. And when the police show up, because it's New York City, they arrest the attendant.
Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. But not the criminal, right? The one actually.
Because he's gone, and who was that? I don't know. I mean, how do you go after that guy? But this dude's right here, and we know because of this statement of what he said that he broke the law. He had a gun in his hand and he fired it. Are you serious?
That's bullshit. Just another prime example of why you don't fucking talk to the cops.
Never mind how he got the gun.
Right?
Never mind that he'd just been shot by the gun. Anywho, I don't know why we're looking at a fucking octopus. Deadly blue ringed octopus. Thank you, New York Post. Oh, Leo's here. What's up, Leo?
Yeah, I am here.
What's up, brother?
Fuck your thin blue line.
My thin blue line.
Now, to anybody that's still
Sports
proudly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, not my line, man. Like, Jesus.
Thin blue line is just a fucking gang, is all it is.
Yep.
Oh, shit. And Foos is here, too. What's up, Foos?
Hey, man, that's Matt? Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Because he couldn't be here tonight. We're holding a candlelight vigil for him. All donations of $1.99 or larger will go to fund his cat's new litter box, which was lost in the fire.
What?
I'm just kidding. I don't know, dude.
Oh. Don't do that shit.
My bad. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I actually got out and shot yesterday.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
How do you feel now that Trump's been indicted?
All I know is he's been indicted. That's it. On what? I have no clue.
Like 37 charges of the same shit.
So basically, anybody since probably Nixon in the White House could probably be brought up on charges as well. Maybe,
But it's
maybe even
unprecedented
before
because
that.
no one ever has, though, and that's the thing. Like, the Department of Justice has never been aimed at a former president by a current administration for fear that it would cause some sort of, like, I don't know, banana republic like response from the people, thinking like they don't do this in America, they only do this in places like communist China and Russia. This is what Stalin would do.
But
We don't
they're
do
not,
that.
The government is. I don't think the government's not scared of people anymore.
Oh, hell no. No. We've
Well,
let
that's-
them get away with shit for far too long.
And if you think about it, what they're doing is a actual communist and fascist thing.
When are the
But-
Republicans going to play dirty? That's what I want to
They
know.
won't. They won't.
They're not.
Shit.
No.
They never will.
At what point are they controlled opposition because of that fact? You know what I
So
mean?
that-
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Because, like, well, this is the group of people that we would stand behind if only they would stand up for us, because they're our elected officials, be they only from one party or whatever. But they always capitulate. They always bow down. They always do as they're told to the other side and never
Yep.
stand up. At what point do we view that, or is that controlled opposition, meaning it is a way to get people to think? Like QAnon, in my opinion, was controlled opposition. It got all like the crazies to fucking sign on to QAnon bullshit because it's only, one more step, and they tap 3 times on the dot of 12, and you'll see what Trump meant by 6286, which is the number of the beast. That's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But the people who believe in that shit were complacent because they believed that something was going to happen for them. And all they had to do was sit back and watch, and they knew when other people didn't.
Yeah,
Controlled
there's a lot of
opposition.
people that believes in it.
There's people who
A
still
lot.
believe in that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
It's hard. Okay, well, Mark Twain. It's harder to prove to someone that they've been lied to than to lie to them in the first. That's not the fucking quote. God damn it. We got to look this up now. It's easier to lie to someone than to convince them that they have been fooled. That's what it is. That's true.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because you're invested in it. Okay, like again, like when you look at science, right? Look at these scientists with their opposition to these new ideas that are coming up in light of new information that's come through because they've spent 40 years teaching at this college with this thesis about how they thought that things worked, and your little theory that came through and just smashed my entire thesis to pieces. So I've been
working my entire life on this thing that's flawed, but you can't come in with a new idea because you haven't worked as long as me. Well,
right. I'm not gonna let you prove me wrong. Exactly.
And that's bullshit.
It's the same thing with tobacco science, dude. Because they can, on the same coin, on the same token, put false information forward, peer reviewed by certain people who were paid to peer review the thing and stamp their fucking stamp on it or whatever, and then they can get whatever they want through. And it's even going on today. It's not just tobacco science, because there was some paper that some guy put forward to, and I forget what the details were, but it was like written with just like this like progressive language that they would totally agree with to prove some fucking like progressive point. And there was no science, there was no data, there was no anything in it at all, like obviously, blatantly in front of your face, but it was peer reviewed because it agreed with what they already had to say. I forget what the fuck that was. Anyway, doesn't matter. The principle is what matters, and you guys get it.
Get what?
The principle.
I don't want a principal. They're usually old and decrepit.
PC principle.
Okay, this is a map someone came up with for national divorce.
I accept that.
So you got everything in white belongs to the Democrats.
No, I think you could go into California. There's some Northern Californians and some Eastern Californians that are good.
I agree, and I think you could probably put some white in Texas. To be honest,
absolutely. And in Kansas City, Kansas City, and I mean, basically all the metropolitan areas, you could basically put white.
Yeah.
There'd be little white fingers sticking everywhere, though, if you did it,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right, exactly. So,
but yeah, I like how it's like a cyclone that starts where I live.
If you look, there is some white on Texas, but it's down there on the coast by, where Matt's at.
I thought that's like water in the bay.
Yeah, it's not just water.
I thought that was Matt's house.
I mean, by that thinking, there's some white here in Florida too. Look. Oh, and here in Alaska, look at all this white in Alaska right here.
Well, look at Louisiana. I mean, that's white, but that's not the water. That's not the Gulf. That's
that because I don't think nobody wants New Orleans. Period. So,
well, Texas has that little like fucking miniature penis island that sticks out, you know.
I don't know if New Orleans is right there. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
And it goes for miles and miles and miles, like right off the coast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all that is. That's what that's showing.
Maybe.
That's all that is right there.
What's that red dot off to the far right? It's kind of hanging out there.
Probably Puerto Rico.
Atlantis.
To probably Puerto Rico.
Puerto Ricano. See, I thought Puerto Rico was fucking Democrat.
Right, that's what I'm thinking too. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, another shooting here at a Trader Joe's in Los Angeles. You don't get white people to be upset about anything until people are getting shot at Trader Joe's. Are you serious, Karen?
Which is bullshit.
We shop there for little Johnny's Cheerios, gluten-free, anti-woke, or super woke fucking Cheerios. God damn it, I fucked up.
You know what? I've never been inside one. I always walk past it downtown. Never been inside a Trader Joe's.
I mean, it's just fucking health food. You know what I mean? It's like organic oats and blah, blah, blah. And then they have like weird shit that you don't buy anywhere else that like you wouldn't even think is food, but people eat it, I guess. You know, like that kind of stuff.
So it's similar to Whole Foods?
Yeah, it's basically Whole Foods, but from California. So it's got like a surfer vibe to it, bro.
Okay.
Is it about Rumble time?
We get our granola there, bro. No, we got like 10 minutes left, dude.
Damn it. I want to say the N-word. Hurry it
I
up.
was gonna make a comment, but
You can say the N-word on YouTube, believe it or not, as long as you're black.
Yeah, but
What, Nigeria?
when it's a mostly non-black panel, you know, they still might get a little antsy.
So you have this from California. California Police Union Executive Director ran a fentanyl operation. That's
I
right.
heard
The
about
police are the drug runners.
Nice.
and the gun
They have
runners.
the best access to it.
Certainly. Certainly.
And they get it for free.
Exactly. Pure profit.
That blue line is thick.
I mean, if you're the one who's charged in some level with the justice system and putting people in prison, and then it turns out that you yourself are violating a law that, in aggregate, how many people died from fentanyl last year? It's like 50,000 in the United States.
Way too many.
Yeah, it's
In the United States. So you, as a operator of some form or another within the Department of Justice, have been facilitating a drug into the country that last year killed as many people in this country, citizens of the United States, as did Vietnam. The entire Vietnam War killed approximately that many people in 8-9 years of going to war. And it was so egregious back then that many young men had died in a pointless war that had caused an uprising of the youth and all the other things that happened in the 60s and 70s to end the fucking war, right? Like all the people getting all mad, you know, fucking Forrest Gump, you guys saw that shit?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Forrest said, by the way? You know, when he's on the fucking microphone?
Yeah.
And then the guy comes and he takes all the wires out? I don't know either. Anyway, there's
No
probably
clue.
something about this bitch fucking being a fentanyl runner.
probably his own war stories, my guess.
They fooled you about the real story of Robin Hood. Robin Hood does not steal from the rich. He steals from the king and his cronies. When he gives back to the poor, he's returning their property to them. It is not an act of charity or redistribution of wealth, but a rebellion against the state. Now think about why they constantly teach the story wrong. Like, why do they teach the story wrong?
Because they don't want they don't want the thought of rebellion being heroic or something you should do out of one's conscience.
Right. They don't want you to rebel against the government. So they, and since you're poor, they want to make the rich people the bad guys, even though the rich people are them. But not that rich people, not the good rich people. Just the ones that made something of themselves from the ground up.
Well, it's like rich compared to who exactly? Because if you make more than $30,000 a year, guess what? You're in the top 1% of all humans.
How much?
30 grand.
All right.
Because 99% of the world makes less than 30 grand a year.
Yep. I mean, our poor is still considered rich around the world.
Shit, our homeless are considered rich.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Shit, right. Our homeless is rich compared to anywhere else.
Dude, our homeless eat better than like medieval kings.
Yes.
Yeah, in
Well-
California, they get what, like $1,000 or more a month just in free
Well,
money and free shit.
They eat more, not better. Because I mean, back then you actually ate food that had proper calories.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like,
you
and
didn't
plus,
have
they had no choice but
shit.
organic back then.
right.
Nothing but
Ew,
organic.
icky organic. Yeah.
I know. Like, oh my god. Like,
And there
they
wasn't
actually
all
grew
the
this in
environmental
ground.
toxins and pollutants and bullshit that have happened from industrialization and then like nuclear proliferation and all the other things that have happened over the years.
I only eat
You know, like most
processed
shrimp
food.
have a particle of fucking thorium in their fucking body that you eat.
Yeah.
Like 7
What?
out of 10.
Say it again.
Shrimp are radioactive. That's all you need to know.
Ooh, am I gonna glow? I have a bunch of shrimp it downstairs. I need to eat it and so I can glow.
Just keep them in the freezer till the half-life's done and you'll be okay.
Well, how long is the half life?
20,000 years.
Okay, I'll make sure I cook it after that.
That would make you shrimp man.
Not a moment sooner, food.
So with the power
No,
of shrimp.
I'm gonna have one badass shrimp boil in 20,000 in one day.
There you go.
Do you guys go to the gym ever?
I haven't been in a long
I
time.
need to start doing it.
That's not since high school.
Hooty hoo.
All right, well, you guys need to start going to the gym. I was at the
I know.
gym earlier today, and I was thinking about this video,
Shit, I need to go myself.
What's up, Shara?
right?
up?
Like, she's just doing her squats, she's getting her fucking burn on, and then all of a sudden, fucking everyone's running. Why is everyone running? Oh, there was a shooting inside of the gym. Would you guys be ready for a shooting inside of the gym? I know I'm not. When I'm wearing gym shorts and fucking jumping around and shit, I don't want to fucking, like, 642 popping out of my fucking pocket, getting me kicked out of the 24-hour fitness.
I mean, if I had to carry like some of y'all Texans, I would be surprised. That catch me off guard because I probably wouldn't be wearing it, having on me on the gym.
I mean, if anything, just have like you could always wear your oh crap, what are the fuck they're called that goes to fanny packs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess that would be an option.
I'm thinking about getting one of those side ones. You know what I'm talking about? The little side satchels.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It kind of looks a little bit like I think it kind of pakes me at Target.
Or just wear normal clothes when you go work out. I mean, shit, if I went to the gym, I'd just wear blue jeans and a t-shirt.
It's messed up if you in the right in the middle of
Yeah, there you go.
reps.
Like one of those, like the ones way on the left. You see it.
You're in the right in the middle of some reps and you use some heavy
Or
weights,
like that
so you
black
can't
one,
put it
yeah.
down quick enough.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know
this
shit.
is basically like a dude purse, though. You know what I mean?
Immersed.
Like,
I
I
mean,
know
The black one ain't that bad.
this one is certainly a dude purse. Like, if you have this and you're a dude and you have it like and you're wearing it like this, it's like, where's your wife?
Funny, I saw one dude recently just wearing that right now. I mean, it didn't look bad on him when he wore it. That's why I was like, I don't know.
I mean,
And you wouldn't want to have something like this because then everyone's going to be looking at you like you have the gun and probably like a fucking
yeah.
If anything, just take and people have gym bags. Just carry your gym bag and have it off body right next to you.
Yeah, that's another option.
No, yeah, but I used to have a coworker that always used to carry a fanny pack around. But you know how to fight, though.
I have that one right there, all the way to the right. That tan one, but it's black.
This is a purse.
It's a satchel bag, man. There ain't no
It's a
purse.
dude
That
purse,
is a purse.
Oh, yeah, so you think it's a problem wearing it?
I have that one all the way to the right, but in black. Yeah, that one. I have that
Yeah,
one.
that looks more like a little backpack. See?
It's like
It's a purse.
I was in the military, but only my left shoulder.
But it's a dude purse.
Immersed. Man purse.
And what's the fanny pack, man?
You can't imagine what I'd do with a full size pack, bro.
Don't knock those things. I have one of them, and they're very good for megs.
See, thank you.
You'd
So,
believe how
y'all
many
carry
mags they
purses.
could pull in here, bro.
Y'all carry purses. That's cute.
I don't have one.
Ooh, you got to get the whatever the fuck gecko
That's
skin
the
one or whatever.
cryptic. The cryptic.
Oh, I do got one of those
Highlander.
little backpack satchel bags. Like those surplus ones. I think I got a Czechoslovakian one.
Like at this point, just wear a fucking backpack. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, I can only have one shoulder engaged at a time, though. Like, fuck me, dude. Just wear a backpack. Although, I will say this. If I am in a public store, like grocery store or Walmart or what have you, and I see someone walking around and they are wearing a backpack, I have an automatic distrust of that person, and I have an automatic jaundice eye that I'm looking at them with because they're probably stealing something, in my experience.
Yeah,
But now
I
with the
can see that.
satchel bag,
I thought you were gonna go the other way and even more nefarious and.
yeah, I was thinking that too. But I was gonna say you don't think that when they have the little cross satchel bag though.
All right, and we got one more thing, and then we're going to Rumble. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. And we're
That's
going to Rumble now. For some reason, don't have a cow.
Oh no!
Do y'all
You
know
guys,
what that's from? I know you do, Honda, but does anyone else know what that's from? That
Are you
picture?
talking about the song? Oh, the picture. Yes.
I think that was the picture.
It's from Corey's neck of the woods.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Just
Is
about
this
an
working
hour.
on Rumble? Is it working on Rumble, guys? Before I end the YouTube chat?
I don't know. I'm not on Rumble.
Okay, no, it is.
Going to Rumble
It is.
now. Okay.
No, it's working. It's a working. All right, guys. All right,
Yeah.
very good. Well, in this case, what we shall do is say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye.
The
Everybody
link to
out
Rumble
there,
is in the chat
keep
for
fighting
anyone
us.
that wants to go over. The link's in the
Fighting us.
chat.
links in the chat right there. Travis
So-
T's got it. Click the link,
So,
and we'll see you over there. If
Are
not,
you just gonna? Do you just end this and go straight over, or like do we have to jump another?
nope, you don't do anything.
We just